what happens when the GOP's war on welfare comes for Medicaid. This is an interesting one. Amanda Gomez, writing for Think Progress, the progressive website, and she starts out telling the story of Thomas Pennister. He was in prison. When he got out of prison, he was uninsured. Turns out he was mentally ill. He had depression and post-traumatic stress disorder, sleep apnea, anxiety, and ADHD. The guy was a mess. Now, whether that's what led him to prison or whether that's what happens when you get, when you're in prison, and when he came out, his brain was scrambled, nobody knows for sure. But this is the deal. And so Paul Ryan's response to this, well, what Paul Ryan is talking about doing at a federal level is what Scott Walker is doing in Wisconsin, is to say that people like him don't qualify for Medicaid. What the Republicans are doing, and they're doing it in 2 states right now, Wisconsin, and there's one other state that's considering this. I think that Wisconsin's already done it. The feds have approved it for Wisconsin. I believe it's Kentucky is the other state that they're talking about doing it. Is saying that if you're able-bodied and you're not working, you don't get Medicaid. Or you've got to spend 20 or 30 hours doing community service to get Medicaid. In other words, branding Medicaid a welfare program. Medicaid's not a welfare program. Health insurance is not welfare. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness includes life. This is nuts. There are 147,000, quote, childless adults in Wisconsin, and Scott Walker wants to kick them all off the Medicaid rolls. Why? Well, so that the state can save money. Why? So that they can give more tax cuts to billionaires and big corporations. Of course. This is the scam that the Republican Party has been running for years and years and years. They're totally into this neo-Calvinism, neo-Darwinism. Really, it's Herbert Spencerism, Darwin's cousin, who took Darwin's theory of evolution and applied it to economics. Survival of the fittest to economics. That those who rise to the top are there because they're worthy. Don't you know? It's not because Donald Trump's daddy gave him, $100 million or whatever it was, enough to start his career. It's not because the Koch brothers' daddy gave them a fortune and an oil company. No, it's because they're so brilliant. They're just more brilliant than anybody. And so what do you do for the people who aren't so brilliant? That they had the good sense to have been born to a millionaire or a billionaire. What do you do about them? Well, in Paul Ryan's world, in Scott Walker's world, you let them die. You tell them, sorry, you're not eligible for Medicaid. We need Medicare for all in this country so badly. This is an absolute crisis, that we are the only developed country in the world that does not guarantee health care as a right. The only one in the world. Let that sink in.